All right, guys, welcome to our fair play rules and regulations around trades in the offseason and just player movement. Now, some of this takes a little getting used to. We try to make it as simple as possible. If you're ever lost, if you'll just walk step by step and ask yourself the questions that it's asking and follow the answers, it should help you. Let's talk about trades really quick. First, an owner must be in the league for 4 advances before they're allowed to trade. This just helps guard us from guys who don't last here. Maybe we're just not a good fit and they figure it out after they've been here. And so you're not allowed to make any movements to your team as far as trades until you've been here for at least 4 advances. Teams are allowed to trade any combination of 4 players, 80 overall or above, or picks 3rd round and above. This restarts every offseason, and this does not count what you can win for the incentive award. That can be added. You can actually trade a little bit more. Players that are rated 79 and lower, 4th round and lower, do not count towards your trades, and you're free to move them. Basically, we try to make it tougher to move the top portion of your trade, your roster, and a little easier to move the bottom portion of your roster. The league retains the right to decline any trade for any reason that we feel like is necessary to protect that team, or a trade that we feel like is unfair. I will let you in on a little secret. Here this week we will be announcing and releasing a trade calculator. So if you're watching this, maybe it's a little outdated and there is a trade calculator. That trade calculator will automatically tell you if the trade will be allowed or not, so there is no more voting, and it just protects the integrity of the league and lets you know up front what it takes to make a trade pass. Future draft picks may be traded, but only for the next offseason, so you cannot trade draft picks away for a season that you're not in, and you can only trade away 2 of them, and none of them can be 1st round picks. Why do we do this? Well, we do this because it protects teams for if guys leave. If you want to trade picks away for the season you're not in, for the next season, you can do that for 2nd round and 3rd round, and you can only move 2 of those. And if you have multiple picks, and in the season, once you get into the season, then you can trade away your 1st round pick. A player that's drafted may not be traded in their rookie year, but may be traded after their rookie year. A player may also not be traded the year that they're signed as a free agent. So if you sign someone as a practice squad player or a free agent player, you may not trade them that season. They are your players, and they have to stay on your team. You can click this link right here and see exactly how to post a trade and the expectations around that. If it's not posted correctly, we will void it. In-season free agency. So while a season is taking place, and practice squad, you're allowed to sign up to 5 guys per advance. The teams are required to hit position minimums. You'll see those at the bottom here. All bids must be increased by $500K per bid. So if you get in a bidding war, a minimum of $500K per bid has to be posted over the bid that you're trying to beat. When you're signing a player, follow these steps. So in bright blue or green, whatever color you want to call that, I've asked some questions. If you answer those questions, it'll tell you exactly what to do. So if you're signing a player to your 53 who is not on your practice squad, who is not on someone else's practice squad, so this is just a normal free agency that you want to put straight to your roster, then this is what you do. Go to the waiver wire form, see if that player already has a post. If they do, then you're going to up the bid. You're going to just hit reply, up the bid at least $500K. At the end of 24 hours of the last bid, we close it and we award it to the team. No, there's no post on this player. Then you have to begin a new post. And the title has to do with the position of the player's name, and the overall. In the body, you must post the offer that you're giving him and the team that's giving him the offer. It just makes our life a little bit easier. The last thing is go to bed 24 hours after that post or reply. We close it. We put the team winning in the header. So don't put your team in the header. I don't want the team in the header. Look at the examples in the waiver wire forum. It will tell you exactly how to post it correctly. If this isn't done correctly, we will void it and you'll need to do it again. You want to sign a guy to the 53 roster who is not on your practice squad, But who is someone else's practice squad player? So they're another team's practice squad player that you want on your 53-man roster. You go to the waiver wire for them, see if anyone else has put a bid on them. If no one else has put a bid on them, then you need to form a new bid. If someone else has put a bid on them, then you need to reply to that bid, increasing your bid by at least 500K. End of 24 hours, we close the bid, we award to the winning team. If you're starting a new bid, in the title needs the position of the player's name, the overall, and in parentheses, the team whose the player is on the practice squad, i.e., if this is a Saints practice squad player, you would put parentheses Saints PS for practice squad, close parentheses. This lets us know that this is someone else's player on the Saints practice squad that you are trying to sign. In the body, you'll put your team name, you'll put the bid that you're offering him. After you post that, you will copy that link. You will send it to that team. If it is the Saints in this example, I would send the Saints owner a personal message on the Discord chat, and I would say, hey, I'm putting a bid on your player. Here's the link. That team has 24 hours to decide if they want to keep their player. They get right of first refusal. If they keep their player, they get to sign them. The bid is closed. If they do not want to keep the player, they release the rights. They need to post, I release the rights to this player. And then in 24 hours, we close the bid for any other bids that may have been posted, and we award to the winning team. Do you want to sign a guy to your practice squad who is on someone else's practice squad? You can't. You can only sign someone else's practice squad player to your 53-man roster. You can't move from practice squad to practice squad. Do you want to sign a guy to your 53-man roster? Or, I'm sorry, do you want to sign a player? I have to read this again. Oh, you want to sign a player. Sorry. You want to sign a player to your practice squad who is not on someone else's practice squad. This is just a free agent who is practice squad eligible. Then you go to the waiver wire and you check and see if anyone else has put a bid. If someone else has already put a bid on that player, you put your claim. These claims do not have money attached to them because practice squad players have a default contract. You're just putting a claim. As many people that want to claim a practice squad eligible player to their practice squad can do that. We then look at the waiver wire. 24 hours, we award according to the waiver wire. If the player does not have a claim on them, then you open a claim. The header has the position, the player's name, and in quotation marks, to practice squad. So you're telling me that you're claiming a player to be on your practice squad. Then you simply take what team and that you're trying to put this player on your practice squad. In 24 hours, we close the bid, we award to that team, and you then sign to your practice squad. Do you want to sign a player to your 53-man roster who is currently on your own practice squad? You may do so without any type of posting or warning or anything. It is your practice squad. You're allowed to move that player to your practice squad and to your 53-man roster as much as you would like to do. It is your roster. All teams must be at 53 players at all times. All teams must have 3 halfbacks, 4 wide receivers, 4 cornerbacks, 4 safeties, any combination of free or strong, and 8 offensive linemen, any combination, 1 fullback, 2 tight ends. Those are the minimums that you must hit in our league to be able to hit the player FPR. Contracts and re-signings. Do you want to offer a contract to a player that's on your 53? So you're re-signing this player during the season or in the last stage before we start the offseason. Then you must not offer 5-year, 6-year, or 7-year deals. They can only offer 4-year or less deals. If a player is asking for a 5, 6, or 7-year deal, then you must either franchise that player, get them to accept a 4-year or less offer, or you had to have traded that player away, or you have to let them walk into free agency. You may use the franchise tag if you so choose. Any player that's asking for more than 4 years, you have to let them walk or trade them during the season or get them to accept less than what they're asking for. Bonuses have to be given, and they must be a minimum of 25% of the total salary. So if the total salary is $20 million for the contract, then you have to offer a $5 million bonus. If the total salary is $1 million a year, $250K of that must be a bonus minimum. Do you want to sign a player in free agency during the offseason? So using the free agency in game, you may do so. Again, use the minimum 25% bonus. Everything else, you can just use the in-game system to do so. Any players that you win, you must keep. You can take away and add to bids as you feel free. Just know in the offseason there will be randomized times so that there is no sniping of a player. You must add a minimum of 3 points to each bid in the off-season system. So in the off-season system, when you place a bid on a player, it shows up as points. 50 points, 75 points, 120 points. If you are raising a bid, you must do it a minimum of 3 points every single bid. This way we don't have 1 point bids being raised every single time. It's a minimum of 3 points, whether that's bonus, years, however you get those points is up to you. It's a minimum of 3 points. Only 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year contracts during the off season. Minimum 3 points on each bid. Bonuses are 25%. Pretty easy. If there's no bid on the player, you can offer the player whatever contract that they're asking. Again, following those examples that we have for you. Players cut from weeks 15, 16, and 17 will be locked. They will not be eligible to be signed by any team. They will be on a do not sign list. In weeks 15, 16, and 17, if you're signing a player, you must look at that list. Also, all practice squads are locked in weeks 15, 16, and 17. We're trying to keep playoff teams from making a bunch of moves that they shouldn't be making. Their teams need to be set as they make their run into the playoffs. They need to look into free agency if they need a player. Teams are not allowed to have more than $25 million in cap hit in a single season. If you ever do that, you could be released from the league, and you could also be stopped from making any more trades, signings, or anything. If any team has a cut that will put you over the $25 million limit, we will not allow you to cut that player. Any violations will allow us to do what we need to do to fix the situation. Advances through off-season free agency will be randomized. The draft night will be up for vote, and it will be made available to as many players as we possibly can. If you cannot make the draft, you will be allowed to trade out of the draft if you so choose so. If you so choose to do so. There we go. Got it out. Draft day picks are available for swap and reach rounds 5, 6, and 7. They do not need a post. They do not need approval. All trades will be shut down several hours before the draft so that we can get things settled. Here's our position change chart. You're only allowed to allow players in these positions to play the positions that are posted. Quarterbacks can only play quarterbacks. If you want them to play another position, then you would have to fill out an exemption form, which only comes out in the off season. In the offseason, we do have exemption forms where you're allowed to make a case of why a player should play a position that is not allowed. We will look over that form and either allow you or disallow you to move that player. Halfback can only play halfback and receiver. If they play receiver, they may only play third receiver and below. They may not be a second or first starting receiver in your lineup. Fullbacks can play fullback, tight end, or halfback, but they must be set there in the chart. Tight end can play tight end or fullback, but the tight end must play 80 or below speed if they're going to play fullback. Receiver can play receiver or tight end. If they're going to play tight end, they must have 80 or below speed to play tight end. Offensive linemen are completely interchangeable. Defensive end can play defensive end, defensive tackle, and outside linebacker. Defensive tackle can play defensive end or defensive tackle. Outside linebackers are totally interchangeable, any linebacker spot or defensive end. Middle linebacker can play any linebacker spot. Cornerback can play cornerback, safety, free safety, strong safety. If they play free safety or strong safety, they must have 90 speed or lower. Free safety can play strong safety or cornerback. Strong safety can play free safety or cornerback. Kickers and punters are interchangeable. Anything not listed is not allowed. Every owner, as you join the franchise, must create a brand new coach at level 1. Confidence resets happen at week 1, bye weeks, and into free agency of week 1. Coaches must post that they want their confidence reset during their bye week. When we see the post, we'll reset it for you. The confidence reset means any player lower than 50% confidence will boost up to 50% confidence. If they are over 50, they will not go lower. They will stay where they are. We do have an incentive award. You can look at that, read that yourself if you want to participate. But as we award you, you can acquire up to 7 points, and they can be added to any attribute that you wish. Platinum is a one-time thing for the entirety of Madden. If you donate to the league, you become a platinum owner, but it can only happen for one time during all of Madden 17. If we move into Madden 18, 19, just for that Madden. It will reset when the new Madden comes out, not the new season. Gold, silver, bronze is awarded each season, and all must be earned. These points may be accumulated until your use. Attributes, which are adjusted, may not go above 90. Once an attribute hits 90, you're not allowed to boost that attribute anymore. You are allowed to trade in 4 of your points for one special trait, such as aggressive catch, spin move, power move, etc. The only exception is the player development trait. You are not allowed to move the player development trait outside of moving them from slow to average. If they are average or above average, you're not allowed to boost that at all. So please make sure that you check out our incentive program. Use this as a key. It is always there and a resource for you to use if you are confused. But that is all of our fair play regulations around trades, off-season, and player movement. We do watch this stuff, we do track it, and we do have board members that are over it. Again, if you have any questions, hit us up. If you're working your way through a new member application, this is your last video. The next thing is to take the quiz. After the quiz, you need to post your information on that quiz. To do that, you'll simply come right here to new member quiz, hit post reply, post a reply, copy the quiz, paste it, answer all of the questions. At the bottom of this quiz, you're going to see where it asks for your information. Please post your PSN, your Daddy League name, and your Twitch name at the end of your quiz. We will okay the quiz. We will then save that information, as you'll see here at the very last couple of guys that have applied, so that when I go to add you, if you're approved, we will then have your information ready to go. And then you need to submit gameplay footage. To do that, you simply post a link to gameplay footage. Either play a random, needs to be an online game, or play somebody that's in our chat. I don't care if it's another application. I don't care if it's a board member. Sometimes those guys are not easy to do that with. So you can just play a random. You must get me at least a half to look. Then you just post the footage, we review it, we give you feedback, and we approve you, and then move you to the main chat. So thanks for checking us out. We will see you on the other side of your application.
me.